I don't know why would you take Andy Muschietti off of the project. James Gunn said that The Flash was one of the greatest comic book movies of all time, if not the greatest comic book movie of all time. And not to mention, he also gave notes. So now you're telling me that people are going to be held accountable for his screw ups? This article is coming from comicbookmovie.com, my preferred site to get my news from. So shout out to them for continuing to bring the noise. It is titled The Brave and the Bold. Is the Flash director Andy Muschietti still attached to helm? Here's the latest. One of the most exciting projects to be announced during James Gunn and Peter Safran's Gods and Monsters DCU slate reveal was Batman the Brave and the Bold, taking inspiration from Grant Morrison's acclaimed run. The movie will serve as the DCU debut of a new take on The Dark Knight, as well as Damian Wayne, who would take up the mantle of Robin. So no Dick Grayson, no Tim Drake, no Jason Todd, just right into that of Damian Wayne. All of that lore skipped over just to get to his favorite Robin. Damn what everybody else thinks. Listen to the fans. You better listen. Quote, this is a story of Damian Wayne, whose Batman actual son that he didn't know existed for the first 8 to 10 years of his life, unquote, Gunn said. He was raised as a little murderer and assassin. He's my favorite Robin. The murderer and assassin is your favorite Robin? Are you kidding me? Who? We're putting it all together right now. So that's a quote from James Gunn. And he's telling us that Brave and the Bold is not a Batman movie. He said it's a story about Damian Wayne. Now, many people would say, well, that is how it is in the comic books. Listen. You need to put forth Batman, not the Teen Titans. Okay? The Justice League, not the Teen Titans. This is why I say that this man's slate is outright retarded. Okay? Straight up. All right. Let's go. Not long after, we got word that the Flash director Andy Muschietti had been enlisted to helm the project. This was before The Flash hit theaters and the movie's underperformance, to put it mildly, it outright bombed, like nuclear-wise. At the box office led to speculation that Muschietti may have been taken off the project. Since then, Gunn has admitted that he is struggling to crack this project, and it sounds like DC Studios' plans to introduce a new Batman has been put on the back burner for the time being. Now, wait a minute. I thought that no film was going to be announced unless the script was finished. So what was the point of you announcing a slate? So here it is. You gave us a slate, but at the same time, you're not going to give us that slate. Something tells me that the underperformance of Superman shifted everything. Let's continue. Recent comments from Muschietti did seem to suggest that he was still attached, and the filmmaker was spotted with a DC contingent at the Emmy Awards after party. Yeah, we got a picture here with Andy Muschietti and Peter Safran and James Gunn's wife. Are we tired of seeing her already? I mean, come on. She's in everything. Even so, the Hot Mike's John Rocha, who has previously claimed that there is zero chance Muschietti will end up helming this movie, remained adamant that he is off the project during last night's episode, and co-host Jeff Snyder seemed to agree. So, I don't know why would you take Andy Muschietti off of the project. James Gunn said that The Flash was one of the greatest comic book movies of all time, if not the greatest comic book movie of all time. And not to mention, he also gave notes. So now you're telling me that people are going to be held accountable for his screw-ups? You remember? He said he gave notes. So what we got wasn't truly Andy Muschietti's movie in The Flash. And I'm not taking up for the director. I'm just keeping it real. If I am directing a movie that was in play before the head of the studio got there, and he come in and give me notes, it is no longer my vision. It is part of my vision, but not fully my vision. In fact, it is his vision. He took what I brought to the table and made it what he wanted it to be, which is why The Flash sucks. The Flash and Superman has no difference when it comes down to quality of film. They're the same damn movie. Okay, cinematography, same. CGI, same. As many characters, supporting characters, same. Story all over the place, same. Okay, and one can argue that it also could be compared that they both have alternate dimensions. Let's just say that. Because when Superman steps into Lex's pocket dimension, that is somewhere else. So they are the same damn movies. So how is it that Andy Muschietti is fired, but James Gunn isn't? Okay? And it's not his fault that James Gunn bit on more than what he can chew. He can't crack the story. Well, you should have shut your ass up. Just say, hey, I'm going to give you guys a Superman movie, and we're going to go from there. Or even Superman and Lanterns, or Supergirl. All three of those movies should have been announced. But here it is. You're not giving us the full slate. Okay. We may not never see Batman in the DCU. Why? Because of the Batman. When Superman underperformed, okay, Warner Brothers shifted. If Superman would have been a massive hit, you probably was never going to get the Batman 2. That's how I feel. But since Superman did not attract the audience that they hoped for, you're going to get Batman 2. Okay? Now James Gunn has to sit back and watch a different universe exist alongside of his. Something that he said that he was against. So that goes to show you that that man is not calling the shots. He is not calling the shots. This is the same situation as before. The studio is running things behind the scenes. That is what's going on here. That's why he's calling it the Superman saga now. That ain't what you said before. You said the DCU with a slate. It's mighty funny that you do not have dates claimed beyond Man of Tomorrow. So that tells me that when it comes to the DCU, we're only getting actually 2 films because Clayface is Elseworlds. At least I believe so. Someone correct me in the comments below. But in the next, 3 years or so, 2 years or so, we're only going to be getting 2 DC movies. Now you ask yourself this question. When you heard James Gunn mention that slate, didn't you think that you will be getting all of them in a 3-year span? There is no plan. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, James Gunn's DC Universe is a la carte. Whatever sticks at the wall when he throws it at it, that is where he's going with. That's how I feel.